Hi everyone, and welcome back to Conquering Math, where it all adds up. I'm Pat Long, and this is problem of the day number 11, crater area. Remember that you can find PDFs of this problem and of the upcoming problem in the links below this video. Let's take a look. The largest impact crater on Earth is located in South Africa. Geologists have determined that its circumference was approximately 950 kilometers when it first formed. What was the crater's area? And round to the nearest tenth if necessary. When we look at this problem, we see that they gave us circumference, but what we're trying to find is the area of the crater. So the best thing to do is to start with the area formula. So I'll write that right here. The area of a circle is pi r squared. Now, in order to solve this, we need to know, in order to find area, we need to know what pi is, and we'll use 3.14 for pi. And we need to know the radius of the circle. The thing is, they didn't give us the radius, they only gave us the circumference. So the other thing that we'll do is we'll start with the circumference formula. So we'll start with C for circumference equals. And there are two circumference formulas. One uses diameter and one uses radius. You could use either one, but since we need radius for area, we may as well use that formula. So we have circumference equals 2 pi r. Okay, so now that we know this formula, we're going to go ahead and plug in what we know. And this is where students often get tripped up, as they say, well, I don't know what to plug in, I don't know what the radius is. Well, no, but you know what the circumference is. You know that it's 950 kilometers. So instead of a C, we can plug in or substitute in 950 kilometers equals 2 times pi, and instead of pi, we'll write 3.14 times r. And we don't know what r is, but since we know everything else, we can solve for r. So we have 950 kilometers equals, and then 2 times 3.14 is 6.28 times r. We want to get r all by itself, and since this is multiplication, the inverse of multiplication is division. So we'll divide by 6.28, and we'll do the same thing on both sides of the equal sign. Go ahead and cross those out. And 950 kilometers divided by 6.28, we get 151.274 kilometers for the radius. But the thing is, it says round to the nearest tenth if necessary. I like to usually round at the end, but for today, we'll make it simple. We'll round right now. So 151.3 kilometers is the radius of the problem. Is the radius of the circle. So now if we look up here, remember it says what was the crater's area. So we're going to go ahead and plug that back in up here. So we have the area equals pi r squared. In this case now we know we're trying to find area. We know that pi again is 3.14. And we know that the radius now is 151.3 kilometers. So 151.3 kilometers squared. And if we take this step by step, 151.3 kilometers squared comes out to 22,891.69 square kilometers. And the difference here up top was this was an operation, so that was kilometers. It was 151.3 kilometers squared. That's an operation. This is 22,891.69 square kilometers. That's a unit. Okay, and now our last step is to multiply by 3.14, and we find a total area of, and if we round it off, we get 71,879.9 square kilometers. And that's it. That's the area of the original crater when it first formed. The impact crater's original area was 71,879.9 square kilometers. So a hint when you're trying to solve these sorts of problems is to do what I did at the start. Write down the different formulas that you need. These are problems where people get stuck and they don't know what to do. You knew that you needed to find area. You knew that it gave you circumference. So write down those two formulas side by side and plug in whatever you know into the formulas, and usually that will give you a hint about where to go next. If you had done that in this problem, you would have ended up with what I wrote right here, and you probably would have realized, hey, now I'm only missing one piece, I'm only missing the radius. Well, if I find radius, then I can use that to find area. Let's take a look at the next problem. Problem of the day number 12, dinner costs. Ben and his friends went out to dinner and their bill was $75. Their state has a 6% tax and they left a 20% tip. Sydney and her friends also went out to dinner and their bill was $80. They live in a different state with a 5% tax and they leave a 15% tip. Which group spent more money on their dinner? Remember that you can find a PDF of today's problem and of this next problem in the links below this video. I'm Pat Long, and thanks for joining me for the problem of the day on Conquering Math. I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you next time.